Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I want to do a video to answer some frequently asked questions. The two biggest questions I keep getting asked are, what's so special about our soap? And two, does it lather in hard water? Seems like a question that I was like, but I figured, you know what, why don't I go ahead and just answer that and show you guys what our soap is made for. So, to do that, what we're going to do is let me show you a couple of different waters that we're going to be using. Okay, well, waters. All right, so the first one, this is DI water. This runs through our reverse osmosis filter and through our deionized resin. And I could just show you here that I need to change it because it's at 1 parts per million. But I will also show you on here. All right. I don't know if you guys can see the green number there. This is saying actually what's in the cup is 3 parts per million. So that's one of the waters that we're going to use. Let me show you our tap water. Our tap water is hard water. And just to show you, it's going to turn red. We're at 166 parts per million. And then just to really freak this thing out, I'm going to show you guys our salt water. Yeah, it says error because it's supposed to measure in parts per million, and this is parts per thousand. So I'm going to show you how we mix this up real quick, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, so you see that right there, that's pure DI water, absolutely no salinity whatsoever. There's no salt in it. I actually need to adjust this a little bit. You can see it's just below the 0 line. So right there, that's DI water. Now, let me show you what salt water looks like. Okay, so we just finished mixing up the water, and we're gonna test it for the specific gravity first, because that's easier to show you guys. So let me... see if you guys can see this. So we have a specific gravity of 1.028, closer to 2.9, wouldn't you say? Okay, and then it says about 30, maybe also 39 parts per thousand. Just for a more accurate measurement, all right, put some on the refractometer, and I'm going to see if I can focus this. Yeah. All right, so we are closer to, come on, focus. There you go. As you can see, 39 parts per thousand. And again, as we saw before, 1.029 on salinity or specific gravity. So, it's actually more saline than what you would find in the Western Caribbean. But that's fine, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to show that this will actually lather in salt water that most of you sailors and you volunteers for the reef foundations and all use most of the time. So if it lathers in this, it will lather in normal salt water as well. Okay, so next, and as you can see, I use natural salt, which is why it's kind of cloudy, because you know it still had the particulates of normal seawater. All right, so we got this one set up, and now we will do our experiment. Okay, so as I just showed you guys, the salt water has actually turned out, or the salt water turned out a little more saline than I wanted it to. However, that's a good thing, because by doing that, if it'll lather in this, it'll lather in normal Western Caribbean or Eastern Caribbean salt water, or even out of the Bahamas, which is actually about 35 parts per thousand. So if it lathers in here, it'll lather in your water. Now, first of all, I want to go over what is so special about our soaps. All right, so our soaps, we use 6 specific oils that we have messed around with, because we wanted to make a soap for the volunteers who take care of like sea turtles and sea life, those who are trying to restore corals, and for you sailors, just basically anybody who loves the ocean as much as we do. With that in mind, we know that you guys get a lot of sun exposure. My wife, poor thing, she's a redhead and she gets burned to a crisp. So we wanted to come up with a way that we could help your skin actually to be able to produce the melanin without using the chemicals that are in sunblocks like oxybenzone, because those actually do more damage to the reefs. So to kind of explain, one of the things we use, our biggest oil, is rice bran oil. The reason we use this, let's just zoom in. Rice bran oil contains twice as much vitamin E as palm oil, and there's no worries about whether or not it has been sustainably sourced. You don't have to worry about like if somebody just slapped a label and it's actually being used from or from islands where maybe they ripped up the rainforest just to produce the palm oil. So we don't have to worry about this. It's ethical to use this. The other ones we use are castor oil. It's a humectant. We use avocado oil. The reason for that is because of the amount of vitamins in it. Vitamin E, A, K, there's a bunch of them. And then we also have another oil that we use. That one is actually kept in the refrigerator because it is so rich that if we left it out, it would spoil. And then we also have a specific way that we do the saponification to make sure oils like that oil, which is hemp seed oil, are completely saponified. And then for the super fatting, which is what helps your skin, which is what's left over, the saponification is done first. Then we add things like our coconut oil and our shea butter, so that those things will stay on your skin to help you out. So that's specifically what our soap is made for. It's made for sailors and those who love the ocean. All right, so we'll get on to the other part. Does it lather in salt water or in hard water? So let me just start with this. Salt water is the hardest water. If it will lather there, it will lather in any water. But just in case, I'm just going to go ahead and show you a normal bar of soap. And stay with me. All right. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, the one behind the camera is my lovely wife, Bev. I'm going to take the camera away from her and turn it around. She got to kill me for that one. All right. So this is just a normal bar of soap. I'm going to say we stole it from a hotel, but you know, you open up a thing, we know that they just actually throw these away. This is normal soap. So I'm going to show you guys how it lathers in DI water, hard water, and then salt water to give you guys kind of a reference of how normal soap acts. All right. So first of all, our DI water. As you can see, there's plenty of suds there. Normal hard water. We have 18 grain hard water. As you can see, it lathers just fine. Now comes the difference, okay? Salt water. Not very good yet. So as you can see, that's the extent of the lather. I can work it a little more. And the worst part about it is if you actually go use this in the surf, or if you're using raw water on your boat, it doesn't leave so much of a clean feeling. It quickly washes away because the magnesium starts tearing up the soap chains pretty quick. Okay, so the surfactants. So that is normal soap. All right, then there is our Soleseife. Soleseife is German for brine water soap. As you know, seawater is a type of brine water. Brine water is just any water that contains some kind of salt. All right, so I'll show you in hard water. Lathers just fine. And then I will show you, this was not formulated for salt water, but we're gonna see how it works. Again, not really made for salt water. So now I want to show you guys the soap that we specifically formulated for you sailors. All right. This is our Surf and Suds soap. Okay. So I want to show you guys. As you can see, it lathers up just fine in hard water. Now I'll show you guys in our salt water here. As you can see, we have bubbles even in salt water. Now, somebody, I keep going too here, and just keep building. All right, somebody had asked us about our laundry soap. So I want to go ahead and show you guys that real quick. This is actually our second formulation of laundry soap, because the first one did great in hard water, but it still wasn't good for you guys who maybe live on a boat and using raw water. So I want to show you our laundry soap for the sailors. Now again, this is made for your clothing. So while the other one has a super fat to help your skin, this one has no super fatting whatsoever. And there you go. That's for your laundry soap. So the specific purpose of our soap is to help your skin. The oils that we selected are much higher in vitamins than most soaping oils. And get my hands clean here. They're definitely clean. They're specifically made for your skin, but specifically for those who spend a lot of time in the sun. Now we know that if you're in the sun a lot, you have the ability to protect your skin by producing melanin, but you could use a little bit of help by adding things such as vitamin D and vitamin E and even vitamin K to your skin. And that will help you produce your own natural sunblock. So then you don't have to use things like oxybenzoate, and you don't have to carry around a plastic bottle that ends up being something you carry around on your boat, and perhaps you end up landing on an island or so like Grand Cayman, and you end up contributing to Mount Trashmore, which every hurricane or so, you know, they experienced one this year, will actually end up with plastics back into our ocean. So by giving you guys a bar of soap, it lathers, it's fine. We ship in plastic-free packaging, and that means you have nothing left to carry on your boat, no pollution. And it breaks down in salt water, so you don't have to worry about the reefs either. So there you go. That is the extent of what we produce our soaps for, what's so special about our soaps. And I hope this was at least educational, maybe boring, I know, because I'm just talking about the science part of it. But I hope that helps a lot. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us if you guys, you know, on Instagram, hit that tag button or the bookmark button. That really helps us get our name out there. What we're trying to do is we're just trying to set an example to use less plastics, and trying to help you guys who love the ocean as much as we do. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.